So here are my runes. I'm still trying to do it, and this recording's going to be a bit different because, if it'll be different, it'll be different. If not, then hopefully everything works well, because then I'm going to be sitting here, and I'm kind of trying to record while I'm also keeping in mind of something else. But, I mean, that's my problem, and not you, the viewer's problem. So, here's hoping. So, I changed the runes a little bit because I'm going to be inflicting burn, like, all the time. So I might as well put on rune perks that are, well, making use of the fact that I'm putting burn on pretty much everything as soon as I shoot them. So I don't see why I wouldn't. That said, this is not a great one. Maybe I should have taken Dragon Egg instead, considering the boost, because I think it's 10% of the dragon's damage. Yeah, so it's not 10% of some weird multiplication of my bullet damage. So maybe I should have gone Dragon first, but I've already chosen Pyro Mage, so we're gonna go deep burns, which technically saves me ammo, because if I apply the 50% chance for me to inflict burns on top of the already, like, guaranteed chance to inflict means that I only need 2 shots, quote unquote, on average, because each burn does. If I say I inflict 3, so there's a 50% chance, and I shoot something twice, and 1 chance fails because there are 4 procs that go on and only 3 work. That means I do, let's see, how much damage right now? 2 plus 3 times 4, which would be, am I getting that right? No, because I feel like I'm doing that wrong. Because it's 3 times 4 times 4, because it multiplies the damage, it multiplies the damage by the actual whole length of the dot, assumingly. So that would be, yeah, that would be enough to kill these ads if I hit them with, if 3 burn stacks apply. Of course, there's no way for me to know that, but, I mean, I'm shooting things 2 to 3 times anyway, so if I do this, almost everything in that group should die, pretty much, because of the penetration that the flame gun has. Yeah, see? And then, after that, and then we get fire starter, and that's a whole bunch of damage. This should pretty much help me clear out anything in front of me. Although it'll take about 2 or 3 seconds because, again, the burn stacks need to apply. I've already talked about this in other flame gun videos, but it will kill things. Again, it's just not going to apply the effect immediately, unfortunately. So, again, when you need ads cleared immediately, flame gun not so good, but. And I have to be using Hina clone more. So with Hina clone, actually, I do everything will die in 2 shots, but Hina clone has to hit if that's the prerequisite that I've set out for myself. That said, I shouldn't be semi-autoing. I should just be holding down fire, especially since I have win ethereal procs, which it has right now. But I mean, again, I'm not killing things immediately, but if I do keep shooting things, I guess they die technically faster, because if if all the burns tick at near the same time, then they die a second, quote unquote, well, no quote unquote, they do die a second faster, because if they're inflicted with 6 to 7 burns back to back in the span of a second, that means in the next second they will tick for 21 to 40 HP, depending on how much So just I guess with this example, use that ad. I applied anywhere from 6 to 12 burns per second, pretty much. I hope that makes sense. I know this kind of sounds like gibberish to a lot of people, but again, so say I unload this clip, so within a second I shot an ad about 8 to 16 times, because remember that I have double shot, and then from those 16 times I apply 16 burns. Plus possible 8 more because of the Pyro Mage perk, and so on and so forth. You add that damage in. So 16, or like 8 to 16 burns, that's around 24 to 42. But now with intense burn, the multiplier becomes 4 because everything ticks for 4 instead of 3. The damage adds up. Still, though, it takes 1 tick, so things don't quote-unquote die immediately. But they pretty much die close to immediately. And it also guarantees that if one of these squishy ads is inflicted with 8 to 12 burns, that means they will die in a second or 2. As opposed to, say, if you're using almost any other gun, where they might not die and you have to reload, and you're just sad. So... Again, double shot, in my opinion, is a better pick on. Well, double shot is good for a lot of guns actually. There's because of it's still an overall damage increase. I can't think of a lot of guns that, if any, that really are more a detriment than a plus, unless you run, I guess, Splinter Launcher. But that's launcher in itself is a not a meme, but I mean it is a meme with Splinter Launcher. I think that's but that's how you get the Reckless perk. So it's not exactly like unintended. It's just that's how you can choose those perks. So now I have a technical ethereal perk, but of course I have to sacrifice. I got a little cocky there, but I have to sacrifice movement speed to do it. Because it's not that I'm dashing from Hina clone. Dash from Hina clone is still good. It's that I'm so slow while firing that, again, unless I'm clearing things out, and if I'm immediately surrounded, it's a bit worse. But if I am, if they're pretty much around the mid to max range of my flame gun, then I'm a bit more comfortable. I have to get more used to, spreading my shots with flame gun, because with shotgun, obviously, which is my main gun, for better or worse, and I know you could just be like, well, lol, it's shotgun, but trust me, there's a reason why. I mean, I happen to pick it, and shotgun happens to be, not objectively, I don't know, but I think a lot of people agree that shotgun is a very powerful gun, so hopefully with Hina Dash, I get hit a lot less. I can burn Shub down. Unfortunately, what might happen is that I get surrounded by ads, and that's also not good. So the weird thing about Shub, I don't know if this is intended or not, but if you freeze Shub right as he does his dash, he will still charge. As you can see, he's charging while he's frozen. Even if that's not intended, and the dev or whoever makes the decision decides that Shub stays that way, then I mean it's interesting, but I think I actually want the knockback, so we're gonna actually take elements, because elements are just so good. I think I can't think of a lot of times aside from maybe launcher where elements building into elements when given the chance is not a good decision. Late game, if you haven't taken Pyromage yet, it's really aren't. I think a lot of people don't like Pyromage. At least early game, because they want to kill things immediately, and in 11 to 12 minutes till dawn, you start getting the big swarms, and yeah, if you're trying to burn things, they don't die immediately. Like I said, even if they die in like 1 second from like 20 burn stacks, the fact that they don't die immediately means they get that extra second of distance to sneak up on you and hurt you. So again, I think my immediate solution would be to add a perk that allows you to deal up to 50% of the damage from total, like if the dot, basically like making the dot explode but still adding the dot, but that might make burns a bit too powerful. Otherwise, I think something else I thought of and depends on if the developer wants to code that in, but I think another one I thought of oh goodness, I'm a bit, let me concentrate for a moment, because then I lost my train of thought, which sucks, but hey, I have ethereal right now, so let's walk towards stuff. Another thing would be somehow adding a defensive effect when something is on fire, like not something as ridiculous as something that's burning cannot harm you or has a chance of not harming you, and if it's a chance of not harming you when you're getting swarmed, that's kind of bad, so it would have to be guaranteed, but I wouldn't do something like that. Probably, I don't know. I guess maybe if you're getting hit by something on fire, somehow if the dev programs like only half a heart loss and then gives you more invincibility frames, or just gives you invincibility frame, but we kind of already have that. I have a rune perk on that with max rank, after you apply 50 burn and or freeze, you're invincible for 1 second times x being the rank level, so 5 seconds. So we technically already have that, but it would be a defensive perk or a defensive effect applied on ads that are frozen and or on fire, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But again, that's neither here nor there, because Burns does a lot of damage already. Its main, like I said, its main downside is that it doesn't kill things immediately. But other than that, it's still, I think, in my opinion, it's still good. It's just that I also understand why it drops off for people, either early game because they want to kill things immediately, or late game when burns, things have hundreds of HP. But at that point, you take burns because it has synergy perks with the other elements. So yeah, it's not like you take. But then I mean, I can see why people might think burn perks are weak, because it's not that you're taking them for the you're not taking them for applying burns and stuff. You're taking them for the supportive effects that they grant to you, either indirectly with Soothing Warmth being a big example, or like I said, synergy perks with Lightning and Fire, I believe. Let me check that really quick. I mean, I might as well, just for my own. So yeah, Electro Mastery, Firestarter. When lightning strikes enemy that's burning, AoE explosion that does 25 to at least the ad itself, and then burn and frostbite. Burn for 6 damage per second. So, and that among AoE wise, it does add up, but at the same time, other perks do that too. Especially like Freeze Shatter. I think is what I'm shorthanding it to. Yeah, Freeze Shatter. It applies the freeze, and then you do 12% of everything's max HP, or 25%. 25% of like 800 is like a lot of damage compared to burn, which, assuming like you apply at least, I mean, I guess 12 to 20 damage per second over the course of 3 seconds minimum is good. Obviously, you're applying more burns than that, so I mean, it is still, I guess, in practice, if I were to think about it and someone tested it out, you could actually see that burn still does a lot of damage. It's just that you still have to stack the burns, if you get what I mean. So, like I said, when I'm spraying around like this, things are probably being only affected by burn, like only getting like 3 to 4 stacks of burn. But if I focus on something, it will die in like seconds, which is why you can still clear out. You could cut away forward by walking in a direction where your bullets are aiming. And yeah, things will die. It just takes a second, and then you have, and if you have any freeze effects, then things die a lot faster. It's the well, not additive. It's the sum of all your damage, from freeze, from lightning, from burns as well, and then the initial bullet-based damage, which Flame Gun doesn't have a lot of. But if I got Reaper rounds, actually, I might want to look into that as I approach 10 minutes till dawn. After 10 minutes till dawn, it'll get a bit easier, although I'm already kind of controlling the area. Shatter, yeah, so Freeze Shatter. The reason why I call it that is because you have Frost Mage, and then you take Shatter. Affected by freeze, explode when kill, and deal damage to enemies equal to 10% of the max HP. And again, base, without darkness levels, a lot of enemies, I think near the end, have like 800 HP. So that's 80 HP, plus things from, I think the on-hit effect of 25% max HP and 12.5% can apply there as well. So again, you're already dealing a big chunk of damage compared to burn, which has to take place over time, and that's assuming you are focusing on something as opposed to spinning around and becoming a spin to win. But again, that's I mean, we can leave it to we can leave the actual practice numbers to someone who will test it out. Me, on the other hand, I'm just doing the best with what I have. So let's see, death rounds. So I want to take death rounds, light bullets, Reaper rounds. I don't have Reaper rounds. I think I just need Reaper rounds. So, and the reason why I think that's better for Flame Gun is because I've explained before. If for some reason it's not correct, let me know. But what's going in my mind is Flame Gun only does like what? Less than 10 for sure late game, assuming you're taking a lot of damage increases. But still, even if the Flame Gun, late game it does 10 damage. If you take death rounds, it adds 10 damage, so that's you've doubled the base damage. And I know enemies have like 800 HP, they have hundreds of HP, but still that's a lot better than like 5 to 10 HP or 3 HP if for some reason you never increase the bullet damage, or increase it very high, which is what I like to say. Compared to, say, again, crossbow, which does 20 damage, at least 20 damage base. If you use the crossbow trait, it increases more. Shotgun starts off at around like 12, 13, I can't remember at the top of my head because I'm focusing. Everything starts out above 10, so plus 10 is still good. It's just not as much as the Flame Gun, which goes from 3 or 5 or however many, something less than 10 damage, plus 10, so you've at least doubled the amount of damage you do. Oh goodness, my nose. Yeah, we're gonna take this. The electric bug might be nice, but yeah, I didn't take it. So here's hoping. Actually, I can try to focus this, because I shouldn't be really surrounded. I have to I have to dance around these projectiles is going to be my main problem. But other than that, I think there isn't any max limit to applying burn stacks, right? Unless bosses are just resistant or immune to certain... But they are. I swear they are. Or they are affected a little bit, so... Here's hoping. I mean, bosses have a lot of damage right now because of Darkness level 15, but still. So, hold on. Alright, I had to clear my nose for a moment, but... Yeah, bosses will melt, as you saw me defeat Shub in less than a minute. If a boss is ever taking you more than a minute, either you've been kiting ads or something's wrong with your build. That's my experience anyway. Sometimes I am kiting ads, sometimes my build is messed up, and then I have to focus on dodging Shub. For Shub specifically, I have to focus on dodging Shub. Shoggoth is just a big tank because of DL15. On DL15, Shoggoth is more of a tank, unless your build is completely tricked out, and you're not using flame gun, so again, you're getting more immediate damage on top of the effects of your perks. Let me focus for a moment here, because I'm eating damage, and I shouldn't be eating damage. So here I am, spinning to win. 7 minutes till dawn. I guess 3 of my ammo, which means I can fire for a bit longer, unless I'm under the effect of Ethereal, but still, it's nice because when Ethereal's off, being able to shoot more might help me survive. At least control the myself from getting swarmed, I guess, is what I want to say. So let's find out. So 7 minutes till dawn right now, and now we're gonna get swarmed a little bit. Let me dodge this. Ah, my goodness, my nose, my face, and hopefully I survive because I really want to move on. To not more fun stuff, but just move on and get more flavor out of my life. Otherwise, I could just make another video of me trying something else. But I'm adamant on doing this, I guess, in order. I guess is how I'm doing it. Otherwise, I would have moved on to Spark. I think is next. Spark with SMGs, I think is next from left to right on the character list and weapon list. But that's assuming we survive with Hina Flame Gun. Also, no, I haven't been using Hina Clone. I'm so sorry, Hina mains. Gosh dang it. So here's hoping. And I hope nothing bad has happened in real life, because, again, me recording this means I have to spend 20 minutes, if I survive, minimum, focusing on this recording. And I'm also trying to focus on something else, because I'm also listening. Like, my headphones are half off right now. Like, I'm trying to listen just in case there's something else. But I also have to do this. Although I should be, again, what's happening in real life right now, just to let you know, is more important than me recording this. But again, that's why I've split my attention, as opposed to most recordings where I just have my headphones on, a little bit more focused, both on commentary and on gameplay. But yeah, also, I think these ads have like at least 400 health right now. I think they're scaled. I know the scaling jumps between looking at ads 8 minutes till dawn and looking at monsters 3 minutes till dawn. I keep calling them ads. There's like at least like a few hundred HP jump scaling in terms of HP scaling. So you really need to make sure you have your build set before Shoggoth for sure, as Shoggoth comes in about the 5 minute mark. But yeah, so here's Shoggoth, and here I am trying not to get swarmed, as I deal with a lot of projectiles and deal with a lot of exploding ads, which are not as... I think I want to walk this way. Yeah, I actually want to walk against it, because if I don't freeze this boss... Oh, God, as I get hit. If I don't freeze this boss, he's gonna attack a lot more frequently, like that. I'm just gonna take giants. No, YOLO once! YOLO once. I'm going crazy. I'm really trying not to die right now, so... Yeah, so me getting hit there, that's par for the course, but I took giant more as a shield rather than actual... Hey, I have a lot more HP to work with. Although I would like this thing to die soon. Oh my goodness. I think I'm invincible, right? Yeah, I'm invincible right now. That's something people have been talking about, not being able to tell. Oh my goodness. What did I get hit by the way? Oh, well, I guess I died. Whatever. I'll try again. I'll do it someday, I swear.